Yes, 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 yes. It's Liverpool. Everybody, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Feeling good. The week's almost over. Feeling much better after the result yesterday. Um, I think everybody collectively was pretty disappointed after the final whistle. And for large parts of that game, it just wasn't a good feeling. It didn't really sit right. Watching that game, that just wasn't, in my opinion, the team that it more so going forward, midfield and going forward. Some parts defensively that we had come to know as we'd come to recognize this season, in my opinion. Again, yes, we've had some struggles. Yes, there's points people are making to say that we haven't really been great at all this season. Um, we've gotten lucky, or the opposition wasn't good enough, they didn't show up, or listen, this result is a result that the doubters, whether they be fans of Liverpool, so-called fans of Liverpool, whether they be neutrals, fans of other teams, this is the result that people were looking for. Um, and so we gave it to them. We gave it to them on a really lovely platter. Um, Now there'll be people who talk about the pitch, which you should know if you watch this channel that I can't stand those kind of excuses. The pitch is the pitch for both teams. I get this idea that it's Champions League and the pitch should be to a higher standard. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. Again, I spoke about the pitch that the Spurs and Barcelona played on, and it looked like a pitch in one of the neighborhoods here. Um, Dirt patches all over the place. You play on the pitch that you play on. Both teams have to play on it. So all of this stuff about the way we play, the pitch really helps that or doesn't help it. We lost the game, and when a team is better than you, it's best, in my opinion, to say that, to say so, to give them credit. Hope the boys can wipe themselves down, dust themselves off, and come back and be better for it. That's really all you can do. Klopp always speaks about it. These moments are not nice. You don't want to play this way. You don't want to have these results, but you have to use it immediately. And immediately, it's going to be Sunday. So, listen, Klopp. I want to talk about Klopp, and I want to say that, as the thumbnail shows, disappointed, and I think Drifty from the Football Banner show said it very accurately, and it's more of a disappointment thing. It's not so much we're angry or I'm not angry. I'm not even really hurt. It's just disappointing because you know what Liverpool can do, and it's disappointing that they didn't show that. They didn't show their best selves, because in my opinion, um, we've looked to build a team that wouldn't get you know punked like that, muscled like that. I think that's something that I've been talking about for years, and I've been hoping that we bring the right personalities in, right players in, mix them with the players that we already have, and be more of a physical, intimidating, if you will, even kind of bunch. And I just think Napoli got the better of that in this game. And if you're a Napoli fan, you'd be really happy. If you're an Italian football fan, you'd be really happy to see the physicalness, the toughness, the downright cockiness they showed. I mean, players who, in my mind, over the years, haven't really even lived up to what they should be doing. For example, Callejon, he's not a guy who I look at as really a serious threat. He does some good things for them. Has had patches in his career, whether it be there, whether it be Real Madrid or whatever. But he was big time, and he gave Robertson all that he can handle and more in that game. These games, I'm torn because I say to myself, let me not look at comments on other videos, and because of the negativity, and it's just cancer. It's really disgusting to see, the hate and the doubt and the just the crazy comments. And one of the few that I'm going to touch on, just because it was so mind blowing, and I really couldn't wrap my mind around it, was that wrap my head around it was that somehow Gomez is getting too much hype, and that he made a plethora of mistakes, and the goal we scored was partially his fault. And listen, I'm not here to say that I have favorites or big up certain people while downing others. If you watch that game with one eye, let alone two, everyone can see how amazing Gomez was. So I'm sorry, either you just, you know, didn't see it that way, which is fair enough. Maybe you just didn't catch it, or you got some kind of agenda out against Gomez. To say that he was at fault for that when there's a cross for that goal. There's a cross. I don't think the ball is dropped out of the sky and right in front of Gomez, and there's a cross there. Why isn't that cross stopped? Is my question. Why isn't that cross stopped? Callie Horn was killing it on that right hand side most of the game. So look, here's the thing for me. What's more troubling than us not making any chances in the final third is the fullback play. The fullback play both sides. Both sides. This is Robertson and Trent's second game in a row where neither one of them really held themselves in any glory, man. Neither one of them really showed me, again, what I know that they can do. So that's what's glaring to me. Gomez was a grown man in that game. I don't know how anyone could come away from that game and say that he was anything but. You know, if you want to blame that last goal on him, fine. That I'm not going to argue with people on that. You're entitled to an opinion. But Gomez was a man, and he's a guy that, in a game like that, it's nice to see that you got a young guy like that who steps up, continues to, show his worth. It continues to show Klopp, I think, that there's no one coming in for him unless he can't play. Unless he has a broken leg and he literally cannot move across the pitch, there's no way anyone comes in for him. Obviously, rotation for FA Cup, maybe a Champions League game, maybe a lesser team, if you will, in the Premier League. But also, I mean, this season, some of the teams you would think would be lesser teams are playing very well. So, I don't know. I mean, Lovren, of course, will be played at some point. Matip, you'd like to believe, will be played at some point. Klein, all these guys, whatever. But I think Gomez was just incredible. But back to Klopp, I think there was some worrying moments in that game, in and around the substitutions and the times. Now we get it. Klopp usually makes late subs. That's not new. Um, but the way that game was going, it makes you wonder. And I hate to even wonder this because I believe I know what the truth is, but I had to ask myself: does he trust the bench? Does he trust these guys? Because to wait that long to bring on players to try to make a difference to me is that's hard to understand for me. To not bring on a Shaqiri, you want to bring on Firmino. We're not really controlling the game at all. We don't have more possession. We don't have a controller in that team. We just don't. You kind of wanted Firmino to come in and be that guy right away. In the real world, that doesn't always happen. Joe, I can only be here for a few minutes, but I just wanted to note how the narrative surrounding Liverpool squad has went from it being full of depth to poor in the span of about a week. Yeah, yeah. Do you agree with that narrative, or do you not? And thank you for the few minutes you have, the seconds you have, whatever it is. I'm always happy that anyone could take time out of their day to be here with me. So it doesn't matter how short or long you are. Thank you for stopping by. But let me know if you agree with that narrative or not. And I think that's a good point. I think again, when you have a string of results, two losses, I think, and then a draw. I think of the three matches, you look at the cup game and you think of all the things that happened in that game, the chances we had. That again, we should have done better in that game. The draw, for long periods of time, that was a really amazing game. We had our chances again, didn't really capitalize. This is the third game in a row where I feel like we're just struggling. We're struggling with midfield to forward play, and this one was most glaring because we literally didn't have any chances. This is against Ospina. But that defense, Bali, everyone's talking about it. That name is on everyone's mouths and everyone's lips, and rightfully so. I mean, this guy is just incredible, and I think if you watch football, you pay attention to football, you know he's good. But to see him like that, we've seen clips, we've seen other games, we've seen YouTube compilations. To actually see him, for the folks who were at the game, but even watching the telly, to actually see him, to see his speed, to see his physicality, his strength, the guy's amazing, and he won't be at Napoli next season. I don't think. That I can almost guarantee. He won't be at Napoli. And all due respect to Napoli, but I mean, this guy is proving to be a serious defender. And speaking on the speed and things he showed, back to Gomez and Van Dijk for that matter. Listen, here's the thing: we don't have a ball carrier. It's also very disappointing for me and frustrating to me to continue to see people talk about not having this Coutinho replacement. Look, listen, one loss in Champions League game does not to me show that we need a Coutinho replacement. Do we need something different in the midfield, a ball carrier? Yes. Does it necessarily need to be a Coutinho replacement? No. Again, losing Naby Keita, I haven't seen any real actual facts on when he's going to be gone. I know people here have said December, maybe longer. It's going to be a significant amount of time. We know that. So that's unfortunately that's really tough to lose Naby Keita, not have Ox already. It's tough, and I think yes, in the span of a week or whatever it's been, it does feel that way. But also, you realize a midfield of Milner, Henderson, Genie, as good as they can be for us, as good as they have been in big time games, it's not a midfield that you feel that encouraged about being creative. Sure, Milner, sure, Henderson, sure, Genie will put a nice pass here or there. But by and large, it's a workman's midfield. It's a workman's midfield. They'll run all day for you. They'll make good tackles. But a lot of times it's sideways passing, very uneventful from the midfield. And so you leave it down to a Firmino dropping deep, trying to be creative. Mane dropping deep. Salah going up top, trying to find open lanes, go over the top. That's the football that we usually are left to be played with that kind of midfield. So to me, it's not so much of a Katina replacement. It's, if anything, it's an Ox replacement. That's just what I feel about it. And I think Naby wasn't too impressive before he come off. I mean, there's not a lot of time to see much, but what we did see wasn't that impressive. I think he had one moment where he kind of carried it through, but we needed a Shaqiri, I think, to come on in that game early, if at all. He didn't come on at all, and that's really disappointing. So I feel like I want to see Klopp trusting this bunch a bit more. And again, I know that might not be the right way to look at it, right way to word it, but that's what it looked like to me. I can only speak of how I speak, of how I feel truthfully, and it just felt like he didn't really trust the guys. If you're bringing on who you brought on, and you're bringing on guys that late into the game, Sturridge, yes, he came on at Chelsea, and Europe's a different brand, and if I know that, Klopp's got to know that Europe is a different thing, and surely you can get past some teams in the Premier League, some good teams in the Premier League. Um, but in Europe, it's a totally different thing, and that kind of atmosphere, that kind of environment, you got to make better decisions. So I think Klopp, rightfully took some blame for that. At least we don't play Newcastle football at home, so we have a chance. Yeah, yeah. I think at home. Listen, I'm not too concerned about the game going into City. It'll be a big game, and I'm gonna get to City in a second. But I feel like we'll bring our game in that match, so I'm not too concerned. Really excited about that. I'm more so concerned with this midfield going forward. What up, Thompson? Good to see some guys flowing into the chat. Yeah, just been talking about the Napoli game for you guys that just came in. Some of Klopp's comments, and just what I feel about the team right now. Because to me, the loss is one thing, but losing Naby is another, and more so just for that option, not because he's been necessarily amazing or incredible, but just that option now. It's down to that three, Milner, Hendo, Genie, and then a Fabinho who hasn't really blooded in. You can say so. Naby is available against City. Is that a joke, or is he really not hurt? I heard Naby's okay. Wow, wow, that's amazing. If that's true, that's amazing. Not to question you guys like if that's true, but I was under the impression that at least I mean, but I said that after the or at halftime or after the game that sometimes the stretcher comes out and guys are better than we thought. So if he's good for City, that's great. That's good news. That is good news. That's excellent news. And so with that being said, we need to see um, a bit more from Naby than just glimpses in games. Just a nice turn or, beating a man or putting a nice tackle. And we need to see a bit more from Naby. Right now, we need Naby to sober up and just be like, look, this is it. We got to see um, more of a full package from Naby. We got to see him really getting stuck in on both sides of the ball. I think the pace has been something that's really maybe shocked him and Fabinho, to be honest. But we need him to really step up, both of them. the minutes that they get. If Naby starts, we really need to see him get stuck in and see him really, really take the game by the scruff of the neck. Really, in my opinion. Milner has played a lot of matches. He's played a lot of minutes. He's been doing a lot. He's been asked to do a lot. And so you can imagine him being a bit knackered. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been nice to have just that one extra midfielder to play, I think, in the Champions League game. I thought Virgil van Dijk should have sat, personally. I thought Mane should have sat. They're playing a lot of minutes. Um, Virgil van Dijk with that rib thing. I know he's a warrior. I know he's a battle tested, tough, physical, player. And I know he wants to play every game. Those are just my thoughts. And I think with a Matip or Lovren with a guy like Matip or with Lovren I don't think we would have dropped off that much, especially with Gomez playing how he played. Look, that's in hindsight. It's nothing you can really say. I wanted that before the game. It didn't happen. Um, I think Klopp will say, "Look, I bring you through the Champions League to the City League, to the City game, and just give me two really good games." Unfortunately, we didn't really give him a great game against Napoli, but in the City game, you got to hope that these guys can just see it through, and that's done for that kind of tough patch, and we can kind of not take our foot off the gas. We still got games to play, and we still got points to win. But this City game, we know it's a very, very pivotal point in the season. It's a game that's really, really important. This result, these results are essential. We need to iron out our weaknesses instead of having this mentality of super team. I don't know who has the mentality of super team necessarily. Naby will have a big game against City. Yeah, he's got to have one. And that's the thing. I think, and nothing against you, Thompson. I love you, man. But I think people are slowly starting to be like, oh, well, maybe we're not that good. And there's people saying that we can't challenge. I know you didn't say that, but it kind of made me feel how some people are feeling. I don't think anyone thought we were a super team. I think we can see that we had improved in lots of areas that we just weren't good in. I can count some of the ways: set pieces, defensively, seeing games through, getting goals. At the end of games when you need it, getting goals at the end of the first half. Um, they were making lots of improvements. So let's remember those things. Let's not just throw everything we thought away early in the season. Let's be proud of what the team has shown. Yes, there's some issues. Every team has them though. Naby is the best midfielder out of the two squads. Um, I don't know if I can say that, Mercy. I mean, I don't know if he's better than with both teams fully fit, and I don't know if De Bruyne is playing in this. Look, I think he has the capabilities to be. I think he can be. I don't know if I've seen that yet though. I got you. I didn't know if he. I know he was back in training. I know if he was going to be fit for this Liverpool game or not. I'd be amazed if they rush him back in this game, but it is a big game, and we'll see. I think it wouldn't be surprising if he did play. If he was a last minute kind of fitness test and he pulled to be fit. But I think Pep will probably keep him up. But yeah, no, maybe that De Bruyne is short. Maybe you could say that. But I've got to see more from him. Up until this point, he's been okay. He hasn't been awful. He hasn't been amazing. He's had some flashes. I think by and large he's been good, and that's definitely something good to see. Want to see some more? I think we will see more. Hey, we never really know when we're going to see kind of the best of Naby and Fabinho. Obviously, Naby has been trusted a bit more than Fabinho in the squad. So, but yeah, if he's fit to go, I'm going to look at some of that after I get off of here. Not that I don't believe you guys again. I just want to see it with my own eyes. But that is great news. Great news. So yeah, going into City. Listen, I think City, as they did last season, they've kind of been just breezing through. And I think someone mentioned that about City in one of the comment sections somewhere else, another video. All of a sudden, Liverpool not being a contender because they lost in the Champions League. City also lost in the Champions League, but no one's saying that they're not a contender. Maybe in the Champions League they're not a contender, but no one's saying that they can't contend in the league now after a loss. So I just think it's interesting. But yeah, City. It looks like they've been kind of blowing through these games and just waiting. Look, City is going to be up for this game. Let's not get that twisted. Let's not get that confused. Let's not forget that fact. City will be quite up and very, very much so ready for this game. They don't care about I would say most of the supporters don't really care about the Champions League when they're booing it, the anthem. But I think this team, the fans as well, but the team is going to be ready to play us, no matter who they have on the pitch. We know Sterling hasn't done amazing against us, and every time I say that, I feel like he'll do amazing this game. But whether it's Sane, whether it's Aguero, whether it's Jesus, whoever is playing for them, they will be ready. You would start Salah. Okay, yeah, we can get into that. If people are interested, what we got? Oh, we got three guys still in. Um, yeah, it looks like they've been waiting for this performance. They've been waiting for this game. And again, they will be up for it. They will be up for it from the goalkeeper to the forward players. And so, much like I wanted to see away from home in this game, I know that the Liverpool City game is at home, which is really good for us. I think that's something we can also hang our hats on. We're really, really good at home. We know that, especially against City. I think everyone knows that. The fans and the players, whether they want to admit it or not. So that's good, especially after a performance at Napoli. You want to come get some home cooking. You want to play in front of your home fans. You want to hear them singing. You want to feel that energy of the cup, of Anfield in general. So that'll be good. 80s Mod 1, what's up, bro? Yeah, man, City have had all season, but Liverpool is their nemesis. Yep, yep. Mercy, this is the game Mane will prove he's the best player in the Premier League. I hope you're right about that, Mercy. But Naby also calm down. But Naby also calm down. I don't know what that means. Are you saying that Naby's playing, or he'll be fine to play? Which someone's told me that earlier on this. But thank you, appreciate that. Um, yeah, let's hope that, Mercy. Been really wanting Mane to. I mean, Mane was just taken out of the game completely against Napoli. What do you think about Buvac not here anymore? Yeah, I mean, Jason has brought that up. One of our friends on the channel brought that up a lot. I just can't. I can't make sense of a assistant manager leaving, assistant coach leaving, and that being the reason why our attacking play is suffering. I don't. I mean, I don't really get that. There is some thought that maybe Klopp's trying to just make his own way and be more of a sound. Maybe he's really really concerned about us being the best we can be defensively and believing that our offense will create some chances, whether they're very limited or not. Napoli is the first game we didn't create any chances. So should you be overly concerned with that? I don't know. I'm not. It's a bit troubling, but I'm not overly concerned. I feel like it's rare that you're going to see too many games that we're not creating any chances. Um, that goes a lot to just kind of like Klopp said, the hectic play, the when it didn't need to be hectic, kind of control things, shut things down. I don't really agree with him saying it looked like the Napoli was cutting out everything, kind of suffocating what we did. That's what it was, and that's what it looked like it was. Could the guys have calmed it down, maybe played a less hectic? Probably so. I don't know if that would have changed how it looked, that we were being suffocated by Napoli. Naby is not so clicking anymore because Bubak is gone. I don't know about that. I mean, Bubak wasn't there when Naby was there. Oh, you said maybe it's not clicking anymore because Bubak is gone. Yeah, but I don't get that. I don't get how an assistant manager leaves and then we're not clicking anymore. I mean, you just play the same way you've been playing. Is one coach's voice and opinion there gonna make you not click the way you were? That's what I don't get about that. It's an interesting talking point, and it's not that it doesn't make sense, but I just don't understand how one guy leaving, all of a sudden three guys can't play the same way they were playing anymore. That's really strange to me. But maybe I'm just not seeing it the way people are. So I don't know. Mercy, does Klopp have an assistant coach now? He's got Pep Linders, I guess. He's a Dutch guy. Yeah. I think he was trying to say maybe. Um, but I thought he was saying Naby at first too. But he was the brain. Yeah, I mean, again, I get all that, but again, nobody can explain to me. That just does. I don't really get how him leaving would then force the connection between the three not to work anymore. I don't get how that would work. Yeah, for me, I don't really need to know. I mean, it probably won't ever come out. We know how Klopp is very, very secretive and hush hush about those kind of, in his mind, private matters. Even though it's about the club, and most people would like to think that that should be at some point let loose, and maybe it will be released at some point. But I kind of refuse to think that that's what it is. It could be that again, and I value and respect that opinion from the guys who brought up. Again, you're not the only one. There's other people who've been saying that. You, Jason, other comment sections, other blogs, and things that I've read. But I just don't see it that way. Again, I could be wrong. I'm most likely am wrong. So, but thank you for that. I appreciate you adding that in. Again, I've heard it before, and there could be some truth to it. Only time will tell, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we beat City, and a lot of this we're not even thinking about anymore. It's just because it's fresh. It's just because it's the last game. And it's just because, honestly, in this 3 game span, you think about the cup game, the game against Chelsea, and now it's been difficult to take. All of those they've been really difficult to take. The game in the league against Chelsea felt good, winning it like that or winning the point like that. But these last 3 games, it's been a little bit frustrating. And it's not all Salah, it's not all Firmino, it's not all Mane. Collectively in that game against Napoli, neither one of them were amazing. I think it was easy for them to really zero in on Mane every time he got the ball. Sure, he hits Mane, so he did some things and was able to get away to an extent. But they were very physical with him. Almost every time he got the ball, they were tackling him, fouling him, and that was strategic. They were a physical bunch, and they figured out a way to get to us. So yeah, I mean they played really really well, and people have to remember that. You really still think that the truth will be released? Um, I'm saying I don't know. It probably will at some point. Those things usually come out. I mean, nothing is really kept secretly forever. So I do think it'll come out at some point. But I don't know. I don't really need it to. I'm not really waiting for that, if you will. Um, I mean, is it a coincidence that the whole front 3 is out of form? Why Bubak is out? A rumor was he was in for the Arsenal job. Yeah, that's old news, man. I know that was a rumor, and it is what it is. I don't know what it was. I don't really care at this point. He's not a part of the team, so I'm not really concerned about him. That's like me being concerned about what Coutinho is doing. Neither one of them are part of our team anymore, so I personally don't really give it that much of a thought. Apparently, whatever happened, Klopp didn't see it that he should continue with us, or Bubak didn't see it that he should continue with us. So it is what it is. Is there a coincidence? I don't know. There could be. Again, I don't know what happened with that, and I honestly just don't really care at this moment. Um, I'm focused more on Liverpool and what we can do to improve in some of the areas that we're not necessarily doing that well in. So that's my thing. Um, Still, we don't know why Buvak isn't around anymore. So yeah, just more so focus on the team, the players we do have, the coaches we do have, um, and trying to improve in some of those areas. So um, I don't think too many people were questioning Buvac when we were scoring goals against West Ham or beating Southampton. Things like that. Maybe they were because at the end of the day, we do seem to be getting goals from other areas, and I think it's fine to be worried that the areas that we're used to getting them from, which is attacking play, that we're not, and it is okay to wonder why that is. I just don't know if it's because of a assistant manager left. I just don't know. What do you think about Firmino this season so far? Let us look how many City game plays out. Other Man City games, but yeah. I think Firmino has been okay. I saw that he on This Is Anfield. They gave him a pretty high rating in the Napoli game. I wasn't too sure about that. I think 7 was what he got. To me, that was pretty high, especially if Mane is getting less than that. I think Mane was doing a lot of the work on the left side, or at least trying to do a lot of the work on the left side. Firmino came back, fought for the ball and things like that. Look, Firmino's always. I think Firmino's always going to really. Well, all the players are really going to put an effort in and try to achieve something collectively in the game within this team. To answer your question though, if I had to give him like a number grade, I guess yeah, I mean, I'd probably give him a 7 overall. I think he does so much for the team, kind of being that first part of defense up top. Him and Mane really, even Salah more so this season. But again, he can be better. He can be better. I think everyone in the front 3 can be better. Look, I know Mane's got the most goals, but everyone in the front 3 can improve, and then collectively, how they work together can definitely improve. But yeah, I mean, that's what I feel about Firmino. After Man City game, we finally the bottom of the barrier teams. Yeah, the attackers can gain confidence from. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I mean, that would be ideal. That would be, I think, logical for us to think. But let's see. Let's see. Again, we're going to get everyone's best, I think. And we've seen that through most of these games. Leicester City, that was some good football they played that day. We were slightly better, slightly more fortunate, probably in some instances. Um, Tottenham, I don't know if I can say Tottenham was their best. PSG probably wasn't their best. But Chelsea was, I think, definitely the league. Napoli definitely gave their best, I think, for what I've seen. So even though we're playing lesser teams, it's not. There's no obviously. I know you're not saying this, but there's no given. You don't just win points already. You got to fight for them too, because teams will come to try to get us and feel like they can probably get at some weaknesses from us. It is nice Sturridge is back. It's back in more ways than one. You know what I mean? The whole idea of it being like a new signing is very, very true. He looks very, very focused. I never thought he was lazy, so I can't really say that he's giving that up. I don't think he's ever been lazy. He just looks fit. He looks hungry. He looks sharp. He looks lean. So yeah, I mean it's good to see Sturridge back, and it's nice to know that we can actually have him to bring on in so many games. But so many comments about Salah and crisis and so on. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people thinking Salah is a big deal. I don't. I don't. I think even some of the ones who were thinking the way I was thinking are kind of coming around and thinking, no, I wasn't worried about it, but now I am. I'm more so worried about his his giving the ball away and lack of really having when he's not given space with the ball and it's not close to goal, it's hard for him to really make moves and get around guys. He's losing the ball too easily. He's being kind of soft with the ball. That's bothering me more than him missing chances because he's gonna make the chances, whether it's on his own or whether people find him in the box or around the box or whatever. So again, I'm not really in panic mode, but we do need to see more from them collectively, whether it be Salah, Firmino, Mane, something. We need to see them a bit more in sync as we were last season. And again, if that's down to Bubak, then so be it. Perhaps it is. It is so good for our goalkeeper now. Yeah, goalkeeper is really, really good. It's good to see that the defense in general is doing well. Yeah, yeah. So that's about it for me, guys. The City game is really important. We know that, and that's the only thing that really will put this feeling right. We're going to have a loss against City, and I think you'll really start to see toxic things if you're not seeing it already after the Napoli game. So I believe in the boys. I believe we'll have a really, really good performance, really good preparation before that game. Um, we've seen enough things in these games. Klopp's seen enough things in these games where you got to expect and look to see him really, really have this team prepared, focused, and up for a fight in this game. Hungry, mad, pissed off about the last few results, even though I know we got a draw in one of those. But in general, it looks like we've taken a step down slightly, taking a step down slightly from just how we started. That's just true. That's just the facts. Even if we were to draw the game against Napoli, there's still some glaring things that we're seeing that need to improve. So I believe in Klopp as well, 80s. And so got to believe that Klopp will have them ready, and the boys will be ready to fight. And a dogfight, really, a slugfest, another one. Just like the Napoli game, really. In a different way. They've got different players, obviously, but it'll be a physical match, and City will definitely be up for it. I want to see Liverpool be up for it as well and match that and hit them in the mouth and be in their face early in the game. So looking forward to that. Sunday can't come quick enough. I can't wait. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. I will be back for the City game, or if there's anything else to talk about concerning Liverpool. I'll look in to see what Naby, this situation on him is, and I'm curious about that. But thanks, everybody who was in. Let me do a little roll call. We did not lose a game in the league. You're right. 80s mod, welcome. I don't know if I've seen you before. If I have, welcome back. Thompson, my main man. Who else we got in here? Who else did I see? Mercy, of course. Old Faithful, always in here. Appreciate you, Mercy. Who else? Am I missing anybody? Thompson. There was somebody. Oh, Joey. So thanks, Mercy, Thompson, and 80s for hanging out for all this time. Appreciate you guys very much, and I'll